Before any of these movies, TV shows, and half-assed video games, there was Sonic the Hedgehog. Plain and simple.
The Blue Hedgehog sped onto the gaming scene in 1991 on the Sega Genesis with Sonic 1, 2, 3, and CD, instantly becoming a legend, an icon, and a rival worthy of taking on Mario. With fast momentum-based gameplay, amazing music, and vibrant environments, these games became the classics we all know and love today.
Let's go in and take a look at each one and see if they still hold up today or if they completely suck ass. The beginning. Sonic the Hedgehog 1, released in June of 1991. On the surface, it looks pretty simple. Run, jump, collect rings, dodge enemies. But Sonic 1 was more than just another platformer. It was Sega's answer to Mario, and it worked perfectly. The sales of Sega's console, the Genesis, skyrocketed, and it was the beginning of the Sega vs Nintendo console war. Sonic the Hedgehog's unique answer to the Mario games was to implement momentum-based gameplay and level philosophy. When running, you start slower and you have to build up speed gradually, and the new mechanic, rolling, allowed players to pick up speed exponentially faster when rolling down hills, which allowed for lots of cool level design elements like loops, slopes, ramps, and tunnels. When jumping and rolling, Sonic is immune and can destroy any enemy just by touching. But the con is that you have less control rather than running. Also, to accommodate this high-speed style of gameplay was the introduction of rings. These rings allowed players to take an infinite amount of damage as long as they had one ring. This gave players an easier time going fast as they didn't have to worry about not getting hit.
A quick summary of the story is that an evil genius named Dr. Robotnik, or Eggman as we all know him, has come to South Island to steal the Chaos Emeralds, magical gems of great power. He captures little animals and converts them into robots to help serve his cause, and builds robots and industrial factories all over the island. Sonic the Hedgehog journeys to save the animals and retrieve the precious gems from Eggman's grasp. In the game, we have 6 unique level themes with 3 acts per theme. Green Hill, which is the most iconic Sonic stage ever, for better or for worse. The visuals are so vibrant and fun, and the music is just so recognizable. Like, I'm sure most people who play video games know this track, even if they haven't played Sonic. The stage has lots of loops, ramps, and places to go fast, and it is the perfect introduction to the Blue Blur. At the end of Act 3, you fight Dr. Robotnik in his ship that has a massive wrecking ball attached to it. Next up is Marble Zone, and if you love the speedy nature of Green Hill, then surely it can only get better. Never mind, it's slow, boring, and looks like Mario. The stage is focused on platforming over lava pits and waiting for swings and places to jump on, which completely destroys any flow you could have had. The music is still pretty good here, but the aesthetic just looks like a remake of the Mario castles. Now I can see why they might have done this, as not everyone would have liked the speed, as they would have been more accustomed to the slower platforming seen previously. Still pretty mid. Springyard is next, and it's a city full of springs, bumpers, and annoying enemies. This stage is much more speed focused than Marble, but still not to the degree of Green Hill. Here the design is much more vertical, with giant slopes that fling you up high into different areas, which can be fun to experiment with. And the bumpers are a fun gimmick that play with the physics of Sonic.
If you were begging for more fun and speedy platforming at this point, well, too damn bad. We all just get slapped across the face by Sega, and we get Labyrinth Zone. A water level with spikes and hazards everywhere. Water that limits your speed and movement, and overall just a boring aesthetic. Everyone knows how bad this stage is, and the hate is rightfully deserved. It's bad, boring, with a side of more bad. At least the soundtrack is groovy, but it doesn't fit this hell of a stage.
Starlight is the next zone you encounter, and oh my, is it a breath of fresh air when compared to the last. The zone has you speeding down ramps, through loops, and platforming above certain doom in a city under construction. The music is banger, the visuals are pretty good, and it's just fun. The last main stage is Scrap Brain, and yeah, it's alright. It's the typical final encounter, lots of hazards, a gloomy aesthetic, and lots of enemies. But for Act 3, it tries something different, and sends you back to the depths of hell in Labyrinth Zone. Like, why? After this, we fight Robotnik in his hedgehog squishing room and defeat him and set the animals free. This boss is really bad. You just dodge electricity balls and hit Robotnik in one of the pipes. It's pretty much whack-a-mole, so I guess whack a fat man stuck in a pipe? Even just starting for the first time, you already know the music is banging, just from the title screen alone. And when you get into the stages, it just gets even better. They are fun, fast-paced, groovy, and so catchy. We can all thank this game for setting the standard for all the goated tracks and songs throughout the years. The special stages in this game are these seizure-inducing drug trips where you have to move Sonic around these weird stages to move into the Chaos Emerald to collect them. To enter the stages, you have to finish a level with 50 rings and hop into the giant ring that appears. Here are some fun facts about Sonic 1 that you might know, but also might not, so let's go. There are around 20 different re-releases, ports, and collections featuring Sonic 1 that span from phones, portable consoles, home consoles, PC, and more. Also, Sonic's original design was a rabbit, and his original Hedgehog name was Mr. Needlemouse.
Next up, we have the sequel to Sonic 1. Sonic... can you guess? Sonic 2! Yeah. Pretty obvious, right? Anyway, Sonic 2 released in November of 1992, also for the Sega Genesis. This installment implemented lots of new mechanics, such as the Spin Dash.
The Spin Dash was a revolutionary ability that helped keep the pace up. Instead of having to walk up to a run, you could just crouch and charge up a Spin Dash straight to top speed. This allowed for lots of movement freedom, speedrun strats, and just overall felt fun. We also have the introduction of split screen and co-op, which looking back on it isn't anything special, but still cool. Also, the special stages have been completely changed. The way you access these places is now through the checkpoint posts. When you have enough rings, just jump on through. This gives players way more opportunities to reach these and get the Chaos Emeralds. Also, there is now an actual incentive to get the Emeralds, as there is a new formula unlock. After collecting all 7 Emeralds, changed from 8 in the first game, you get access to Super Sonic, an invincible, faster, cooler version of Sonic. While in this form, you can jump higher, run way faster, but to keep the form you have to use up rings like a timer, and when they hit 0, no more super for you. This game follows Sonic as he tries to stop Eggman / Dr. Robotnik from capturing animals in West Side Island. Sonic has also gained a new companion, Tails. For this game, we begin in Emerald Hill, one of the many Green Hill-like environments in the franchise. The level starts off strong with many speedy sections and fun design, which carries throughout. It's here that I should mention that the 3-act structure from the previous installment has been changed to only have 2 acts per zone, which makes things feel more fresh, less repetitive, and keeps everything flowing well. Moving on to Chemical Plant, we have a giant factory with purple water, vibrant colors, and ultimate speed. The speed you can pick up in this game is incredible, especially with the removed speed cap. You can even run faster than the camera can keep up. Chemical Plant is another one of the most iconic zones, and for good reason. It has a good environment, great music, fun platforming, and good challenge. Let's shift our focus to Aquatic Ruins, a water level done right. The upper path requires more skill to keep on, but has a great reward. It lets you skip all of the water sections and provides you a speedy way to the goal. The music here is also one of my favorites.
Next, let's go gambling! Zone 4 is Casino Night and the introduction of gambling in the Sonic franchise. Thank you so much, Casino Night. Without you, I would have no place to spend my hard-earned rings. This stage is pretty fun. It's got a good music track, a good visual aesthetic, and fun level design. Also one of the best bosses in the classics just because of how well it uses Sonic's unique moveset and gameplay.
Up next is the volcanic Hilltop Zone, with grass very reminiscent of Emerald Hill. Hilltop sports a coat of fiery lava with fire enemies, lava pits, fireballs, rising lava, and lots of verticality, which makes sense being set up in the mountains. Also, because it's set in the mountains, we have quite a lot of death pits, so watch out. Mystic Cave takes the spotlight next, and we begin in a dark and gloomy and almost spooky cave. This stage is much more focused on platforming and how the environment makes you feel, so go and watch AJ's analysis on Mystic Cave because it's great, like all his other videos. Anyway, Mystic Cave is on the slower side compared to Sonic 2's roster, but for some reason I don't really mind. It's still a good time. Now if we're focusing on the newer versions of Sonic 2, we can go over Hidden Palace Zone. In the original release, Hidden Palace Zone is one of the lost stages, but in the Sonic 2 remake for phones, Christian Whitehead and his team took it upon themselves to recreate it. The environment is cool, and while some sections can be annoying because of the use of water, overall it's a very nice addition. Oil Ocean is the zone we are talking about now, and it's full of oil. Wow! A factory full of annoying gimmicks, enemies, spikes, and overall mid-level design with lots of waiting involved makes this one of the more forgettable stages. However, it is my favorite to speedrun in Sonic Mania.
Metropolis Zone is next, and damn, it needs no introduction. It's the stage with the most utter bullshit enemies ever. They've got the stupidest hitboxes, they can hit you through walls, they're placed in the most idiotic places just ever, and honestly, they just make me want to rip my eyes out. This level is so annoying. It has dumb gimmicks, and just when you think you've finished and you reach the end of Act 2, the game just throws you to the wall, slaps you hard, and just slams you onto the ground, and they give you Act 3. Yes, the only Act 3 in the game, and it's for the most stupid stage ever. Sky Chase is up next, and it's 2 minutes of auto-scrolling.
Wing Fortress is straight after that, and it's alright. Not bad, but alright. I do have a hot take here though. I actually prefer the Sonic 4 Episode 2 version. Yup. Fight me in the comments, I dare you. Next is the Death Egg Zone, and it's a lie, it's just a boss fight. But you fight Metal Sonic, not that Metal Sonic, this Metal Sonic. And after you destroy him, you fight the iconic Death Egg robot that has been redone too many damn times. It's a way better boss than Sonic 1, and yeah, that's the game. The special stages in the game are also way better than Sonic 1. We have this half pipe game where you have to run along the pipe and collect certain amount of rings to move on. And we all know that Tails is just here to fuck with you, honestly.
With big shoes to fill in terms of the music department, does Sonic 2 hold up? Hell yes. Every song in this game is goated and so peak. We have Aquatic Ruins, Emerald Hills, Chemical Plants, Casino Nights. Just come on man, it's too good. Sorry, I don't have too much to say about it. I don't know much music theory, but I just know I vibe with it.
A random fun fact that I just found out while making this video is that the Hidden Palace boss uses the same sound from the Flying Battery intro in Angel Island from Sonic 3. I think. It sounds very similar if not. Released in 1993 for the Sega CD extension on the Sega Genesis is Sonic CD, Japan's sequel to Sonic the Hedgehog. This game is extremely similar to Sonic 1 in regards to its gameplay. It has the speed cap like the first, but it has the spin dash like the second, which is way worse here in almost every way to the Sonic 2 version. We also have the introduction of the Super Peel Out, a faster spin dash that does make you vulnerable, but does look pretty damn cool. Now the main gimmick slash thing that makes this game unique is the time travel aspect. In each stage, there are multiple signposts that say either past or future. When you hit these, you have to keep up your speed until you are transported to the different time periods. This means that there are 3 versions of every zone, each with different aesthetics and music. This game is the first in the series to go for an intro cutscene slash opening, and it hits even still in 2025. Listening to Sonic Boom, which is superior to You Can Do Anything by far. But yeah, the animation is just so well done, especially for the 90s. This game's story takes place on Little Planet, a small planet that appears once every year and is home to powerful gems known as the Time Stones. Yeah, you thought it was gonna be Chaos Emeralds. Well, no. Because of the temporal passages and things on Little Planet, Eggman was able to go into the past to place Metal Sonic holograms and generators to ensure that he is in control in the future. Oh yeah, this game is also the introduction of Metal Sonic, Sonic's first rival.
And the first time we see him, he's kidnapping some random girl. Like, damn bro, way to introduce yourself.
Getting the good ending, Sonic saves the day and destroys Metal Sonic and saves the Little Planet from Eggman's control. Sonic CD's approach to level design is for bigger, more explorable stages with lots of stuff to find. In these stages, you have to find the different signposts to travel to either the past or future, and in the past, you can find the generators and Metal Sonic holograms around. and when you destroyed them, you create a good future for Act 3. Speaking on that, yes, this game decided to ditch the 2-act structure of Sonic 2 that kept everything feeling fresh, and reverted back to the lame 3-act structure of Sonic 1. However, because of the time travel mechanic mentioned previously, the 3-act structure is not as bad, because you at least get different aesthetics for each act. The beginning zone is Palm Tree Panic, a zone totally not inspired by Green Hill in any way, shape, or form. Anyway, this stage is fast, fun, and has a lot of cool pathways, and is a great introduction. Collision Chaos is exactly how it sounds. The collision is full chaos. There are so many bumpers and random objects to stop you and fling you about, but there are some fun and unique areas to explore. Still just very mid. Next we have Tidal Tempest, and yay, a water level! But it's not that bad, at least when being compared to Labyrinth Zone. It has some fun ideas and things, so yeah. Moving on. And we have Quartz Quadrant, and I have to say, this zone is one of my favorites in the game. Quartz Quadrant is just fun. The level design is fun, the aesthetics are fun, and it's just fun.
Wacky Workbench is probably the worst designed stage in all of the classics. It's unfun, there's random objects everywhere, and the stupid bounce gimmick just ruins everything. You can't get any flow here in the slightest. It's just stupid.
Next is Stardust Speedway, and the game actually lets you have some fun after Wacky Workbench. There are loops, dash pads, ramps, and the stage just has lots of speedy areas. However, it is very easy to get lost, and I have no idea what to do sometimes. But Act 3 has the race with Metal Sonic, so all is forgiven. The last stage in the game is Metallic Madness, and it's what you would expect from a Final Fortress level. It has spikes, enemies, and in CD's case, a bunch of weird design choices. But overall, not too bad. Much prefer this over Scrap Brain anyway, and it's the intro of Mini Sonic, so extra points. Sonic CD has the benefit of being on the CD extension because this allows the music to be higher quality, and the developers took full advantage of this. For the first and only time in the whole franchise, I think, please correct me if I'm stupid, but for the first time we have 2 different soundtracks, one for the US and one for Japan. While most people prefer the Japanese soundtrack, and I agree, the US soundtrack is also really good. To accompany the game's time travel gimmick, there are 3 versions of each song, a past, present, and future track for each zone. This leads the music to be very atmospheric and allows for a lot of variety in the way the tracks are written. The special stages for this game take place in a pseudo 3D world where you have to hunt down drones and blow them up. If you go in the water, your time goes up faster as well. These are very unique and pretty cool. Also, we have reverted back to the 50 rings and jump into the ring at the end like Sonic 1 as the way to get to the special stages.
A fact for Sonic CD is that it was always left out of like every collection. As it wasn't in Sonic Jam, Mega Collection Plus, it was in Sonic Gems Collection, but that one didn't include the other classics. And the only other one that has it is Origins, which was only released like 2023? 2024? I don't know. In February 1994, the world saw the release of the masterpiece that was Sonic 3. For what was supposed to be one big game to end off Sonic on the Genesis, was split into 2 releases because of hardware limitations and a collaboration with McDonald's of all places. Later in October of 1994, the second part was released in the form of Sonic and Knuckles, which could be connected to Sonic 3 to make it the complete package, Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
The new additions to gameplay in this game is the Insta Shield, which allows you to become invincible for a few frames. This is way more useful than you would first think, as it also extends your hitbox, making it easier to hit enemies. We also have the superior Sonic 2 spin dash rather than the CD counterpart. Sonic 3 was also the intro of Tails' flying ability when actually playing as him, and we can also play as Knuckles here, who can glide and climb. Every character has super forms, and now also hyper forms, which is a step up and makes you even faster and powerful. We also get 3 elemental shields where Sonic can harness their power. Just Sonic, not Tails or Knuckles, sadly. Bubble Shield can slam down and bounce back up, as well as stopping you from drowning. Fire Shield gives a mid-air dash as well as stopping the fire damage. And the Electric Shield / Thunder Shield gives a double jump, magnetizes rings to you, and stops electric damage. These are great additions and actually give me incentive to explore and find them. The story in this entry is much more ambitious for the Genesis and compared to the previous games. We begin with Sonic in his super form heading to Angel Island for whatever reason. Here we are introduced to the big buffoon Knuckles, who just bitch slaps Sonic right out of his supersonic, steals the Chaos Emeralds, and dips. We then follow Eggman as he tries to rebuild the Death Egg, previously destroyed in Sonic 2, fighting him and also getting interrupted and trolled by Knuckles, who is working for Eggman. He is doing this because Eggman planted the lie that Sonic is an evil bastard and is trying to steal the Master Emerald, which Knuckles is born to protect, where in reality Eggman wants it. Throughout the game, we get various lore drops and world building that gets added upon later. But at Hidden Palace Zone is the confrontation with Knuckles, where Eggman betrays him and he decides to join forces with us to rescue the Sacred Emerald. Up above the world is the Death Egg, the final level, and if you have collected the Chaos Emeralds, you fight Eggman in the Doomsday Zone, where upon defeating him, you regain control of the Emerald and return it to its proper spot on Angel Island. Onto the levels! This game's level design takes the speed from Sonic 2 and the exploration from CD. Sorry, I don't know what the hell that was. Anyway, they combine these together perfectly. This entry has the most expansive and, in my opinion, most fun between the games. We begin the journey in the jungly Angel Island zone, which is the perfect blend of speed and exploration as mentioned previously. With such an iconic music track, a change in environment from the Green Hill copies, and a mid-level transition that sets the whole jungle on fire, this has to be one of my favourite zones of all of the classic era. After getting trolled by Knuckles, we plummet to the depths of Hydrocity Zone. And oh no, a dreaded water level you might say. But just you wait, because while some parts of the stage can feel slow and sluggish, the level more than makes up for it with the unique ideas and fast sections. Also, hey, you can run on water! This is another good example of how to do a good water level. We have speedy pipes, fun mechanics, but still I just don't like water levels in Sonic. Escaping from the depths, we move on to Marble Garden Zone, which is very vertical and is filled with lots of bullshit traps and stupid enemies. We have this stupid spike fish and this spike, which might look normal, but hell no, it shoots stuff at you and is also springy. Despite these flaws, aka skill issue, Marble Garden is still a hell of a time and has so many hidden rings to get the Chaos Emeralds. Really saved me a lot during my playthroughs. Carnival Night Zone is next on the chopping block, and here we have annoying gimmicks and level design that just honestly pisses me off sometimes. If you couldn't already tell, I don't particularly like this stage. Not really sure why, I just don't. Also, yeah, the Barrel of Doom's here, so what else do I need to say? Next, after Carnival Night and the stupid Barrel of Doom, is Ice Cap, our Lord and Savior. Ice Cap is so beautiful, it's fun, it's fast, the aesthetic is so good, and you can snowboard, so it's even cooler. Ice Cap is just one of those stages I just like to play if I randomly turn on Sonic 3. I think the reason why I like it so much is just the atmosphere and the music. It's just so cozy and peaceful. Launch Base is after and is really pretty good. The level design is fast and it flows really damn well. The level environment is also pretty good, but I feel like I get lost in the stage too often. It's probably a fat skill issue, but oh well. So yeah, a really fun stage to end off the Sonic 3 portion of the package. Beginning with the Sonic and Knuckles portion, we have Mushroom Hill Zone. Mushroom Hill Zone is really fun, it's fast, it has great design, and lots of loops and ramps, which allows for experimentation in Sonic's momentum. Flying Battery zooms in next, and while still balancing aspects of platforming and of speed, it's more focused on platforming and also ups the difficulty with many death pits, fire, spikes, and enemies. Still a fun stage stage though. Now Sandopoulos is after, and this is where people say the quality kind of declines. But I don't know, I still enjoy Act 1 and think it's good. Act 2 is just annoying with the stupid ghost gimmick. Now I don't think any of the stages in this game are bad, so if I don't talk much on them, it's not because I don't like them, I just didn't have anything to say. Lava Reef is the next stage and it's really fun. Yeah, I've been saying fun a lot during this video, so sorry. While not as speedy as some of the previous zones, it's like the Mystic Cave situation where even though it's slower, I still have a great time. But Act 2 is too much waiting, and I don't particularly like the aesthetic. Now if you want to count Hidden Palace as a zone, then sure, but it's like 30 seconds long and is just there to transition into the Knuckles fight and the Eggman betrayal. We then move on to Sky Sanctuary, which has a really cool visual design and is also fast and fun, but you can also fall back down to the beginning if you're not careful, since the stage is very vertically focused. Next, instead of only using the Death Egg as a final boss area like in Sonic 2, we actually have a full stage. But it's kind of annoying as they just put so many spikes, death pits, enemies, and electric obstacles everywhere that it gets quite hard to actually keep a flow state. The final boss has Eggman in a giant mech that shoots fire and tries to bitch slap you. It's a really good boss, and if you have all the Super Emeralds, you transition into the Doomsday Zone. This has you flying in space, dodging asteroids and rockets to try and catch up with Eggman. It's really cool for the classics, and while not too crazy gameplay wise, it's still good. And has banger music. Now keeping on the topic of the music, it's so good. Each track is pure peak, and even Michael Jackson helped with it. Allegedly, but we all know he did. Even though this game doesn't have as high quality music as CD, or different songs for different time periods, god damn, it's just peak. Like bro, Angel Island, Lava Reef, Ice Cap, what more can you ask for?
Now, one thing I totally forgot to mention in the original script is that each act has a different variation of the original track, which just makes the whole soundtrack even more peak.
The special stages have you in this pseudo 3D world where you have to collect the blue spheres and dodge the red spheres. And don't do what I did, thinking Sonic grabbed the blue and Knuckles grabbed red. Red just kills you either way. These are definitely the best out of the previous, and they also appear in Sonic Mania as a bonus game mode. Also, the way you get into these special stages is by finding a giant ring hidden throughout the stages. This entices players who may not like exploring into actually exploring, as they have an incentive to. A fun fact for this title is that Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles were supposed to be one big game, but because of the size of the Genesis cartridges, they had to be released as separate games. Sega also created a lock-on technology where you could latch the Sonic and Knuckles cartridge onto the Sonic 3 cartridge, making the complete title Sonic 3 and Knuckles. You could also connect the and Knuckles portion onto Sonic 1 and Sonic 2 to play as Knuckles in those games. This lock-on technology was only ever used for this game, no other games or series.
Now, time to rank each game, because why not? Sonic the Hedgehog 1 gets middle of the road C tier. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 gets a very good A tier. Sonic CD gets, I guess, alright, B tier. And Sonic, Peak, and Knuckles, obviously, we have to put this in S tier. To wrap up this video, which has quickly become my longest scripted video, I just want to say that these classic games are such an important part of the franchise, and they should never be forgotten or dismissed. If you guys enjoyed, please like and subscribe. I need to reach 500 subscribers by the end of the year, or I might just go insane.